as king one day made camp on Northey Island in the usual Viking way. Led by Olaf Tryggvason with his men a formidable sight. But conquest wasn't in the plan, and he said if the price is right, we'll leave you be, return to sea, all that I ask of you. It's a tribute of gold and treasures untold, plus maybe a wife or two. Ethelred the Unready had yet again been thwarted, so he called for his Ealdorman Byrhtnoth to go forth and get it sorted. Byrhtnoth now at 60 plus, a well-respected man, with his company of thanes and comitatus made a plan. He formed a local militia, affaired as known back then, of farmers, traders, labourers, to join him and his men. Then with axes, swords and spears towards the Blackwater river they marched, beneath the August sun as one, courageously advanced, and at the river estuary, both armies face to face. Called Byrhtnoth, if it's trouble you want, you've come at the right place. Cried Olaf, hey brother, why slaughter each other? I'll give you some free advice. Your cash for peace, hostilities cease, that's cheaper half the price. Byrhtnoth retorted angrily, what? Ain't to avoid your wrath? To us the shame if you would gain without battle here having a laugh. The only way we're going to pay, now you've come at this far to provoke it. This is poison, spears, blood, sweat and tears, sing lane your pipe and smoke it. A standoff at the causeway that links the island to Maine. The tide receding, slowly revealing the top of the narrow lane. There then, undaunted, jeered and taunted, thus begun the attack. But Woolston held their back and some crew simply cut them down in their tracks. With paths so slender, advantage defender, heathens becoming aware that their efforts in vain struck down and slain, so declared this is so unfair. Let's play it straight and negotiate, safe passage across we fleet. It's a fair fight, and their denied Byrhtnoth only went and agreed. The Saxon code of often mold, some say his biggest blunder, but then had he refused by then have sailed for an easier village to plunder. So our men withdrew, allowing them through to make the crossing unhindered. Even gave them time to form their lines, quite generous with all considered. Arrows rained and javelins trained, everyone giving it large. Then a roar and a crashing of steel rang out as both sides suddenly charged. The fight intense, the cost immense, all having it hand to hand. The sound of battle resounding out across the open land. Swords and axes made their mark, they say the grass turned red. Peasants alongside dukes and earls among the dying and dead. Our warriors fought with valour, so the famous poem goes. But one by one were overcome by their battle-hardened foes. Wolfmire and Elfnoth died defending Byrhtnoth's ground, but even then still took 3 men to finally bring him down. But once he fell, for what the hell, we'll fight to the very last man, except Jon Greaves' brothers and 1 or 2 others who thought better of it and ran. White led one final stand, they held on to the last, and this tribute is now afforded to the memory of their past. Byrhtnoth rests at Ely, but still refuses to yield, for his statue now stands defiantly overlook.